Here we go again. More trouble in Crimea. This time there's a clever plan hatched by the Russians. I'm going to tell you about that in a second. First of all, let me tell you what the U.S. and the European Union are doing. They've begun to take action in terms of sanctions and punitive measures against Putin's government in Russia. For example, the European Union has suspended trade talk and visa talks, okay? And the U.S. has taken action to say that anyone who is in opposition of the Ukrainian government, apparently it's a secret list, but it's a number of people that they have on that list, will not get visas, certainly from us, and that they will be taking further action against them. I don't know if they'll be freezing their assets, but that is something that's also being considered for a certain number of people, including Yanukovych, who's the former head of Ukraine. So that's interesting punitive action, and President Obama says he reserves the right to do more at a later time. So how are the Russians striking back? Well, they've got an interesting plan. First of all, Crimea's parliament voted to move up a referendum and to significantly change it. So the referendum was supposed to be on gaining more autonomy for Crimea from Ukraine. Well, now they're saying no. The referendum is going to be to join Russia. And it's not going to be on March 30th. It's going to be 10 days from now. That's a really interesting plan, okay? And it's clever. You got to give them that. Meanwhile, prominent Russian members of parliament have introduced a bill to simplify the procedure for Crimea to join Russia. So it's all now in action. So the reason they believe that they can win this vote is, first, they control what's happening on the ground. So if need be, there are a couple of different ways to win the vote. But we don't know if it's going to be a fair vote or not. Let's reserve judgment until that happens, right? But 60% of the people in Crimea are ethnic Russians. So the Russians feel good about their ability to win this, and the Crimean parliament crushed this vote. So they're totally in favor of joining Russia for several different reasons, okay? Now, the member of the legislature there in Crimea said, quote, "We will decide our future ourselves." Okay? See, that's a powerful argument. See, this is a really clever move by the Russians to say, what? It's democracy. I don't know what you're talking about. We're going to do a referendum if they want to join us. What can you do? Hey, didn't Hawaii vote, for example? They haven't made this argument, but they easily could. Vote to see if they would join the United States or not? Okay. Well, now, look, under that same argument, you can say Russia moved into the occupied territories of the West Bank and then had a vote, and the Palestinians agreed that they don't want to be part of Israel. Okay, I guess they're liberated. My guess is that the Israelis are not going to be in favor of that. Now, the Palestinians might be, right? But you can just take this example and just bring it all across the world. You could say, hey, we did a referendum in the Kurdish region of Turkey, and they decided that they'd like to be their own breakaway republic. Okay, my guess is that the Turks are not going to be in favor of that. So although it sounds democratic, at first blush, it could be massively destabilizing to the world if you just keep taking little pockets of countries, moving your troops into them, and then having a vote and say, whoa, we had a vote. So this does not bode well for stability across the world. Of course, the Ukrainians are mad. Arseniy Yatsenyuk, who is now the current prime minister of Ukraine, says this so-called referendum has no legal grounds at all. Now, here comes my favorite explanation of Putin's stance on this. On Tuesday, Putin said Russia had no intention of annexing Crimea, while insisting its population has a right to determine the region's status in a referendum. So, in other words, I'm not trying to annex Crimea, but if it turns out that's what they want in a referendum, golly gee, what could I do? I kind of moved my troops in and then I kind of had a vote. We kind of won the vote, and now we kind of have the Crimea in our back pocket, and it's now part of our country. Okay, it's dangerous stuff, but it's well played, man. And at the end, if they win that vote, I guess I'm going to tell Ukraine, Crimea River, we won the vote.